All right. We are live again here on Facebook. This morning at about 3, this afternoon, we had Perry and Kim Coughlin earlier, and it was amazing. And today we have another dynamic duo here. You guys are going to be completely amazed. I can't even tell you guys how honored I am to have this team speaking. And before I introduce them, I'll just let you guys know a little bit about, I told you guys I started on selling on Amazon probably about 5 years ago. And one of the very first people in the industry that I followed was Chris Green. And, he had all kinds of books out. He had his, Scan Power app that was out. We had all these things, and he was just giving away information, like value, like crazy everywhere. Saw him at conferences and just fell in love with everything that he had to stand for. And I am, super honored. We tried to get him to speak last year, and he couldn't come live, but he still made a recording for our group. And if you haven't bought, we still have the 2018 recordings from SimplezonSeller last year that has Chris's presentation that he so graciously did for us. So, through the years, I just continue to be in awe with this man and what he has, he knows everything before we all know it. You go to a conference and Chris will say, all right, this is what's going to happen. This is what's going to be happening this one. And you're just like, wow, wow. That's the word that I know. And then I met his son last year at the Rocky Mountain Resellers Conference, David, and that's one of my son's names too, so it's a great name. And I thought he was 13, but I just talked to him earlier and I found out he is only 11 years old. Come on. I'm just like, what? And so he is going to talk to us about Amazon merch for kids. And if any of you ever say, that Amazon merch or starting a business is super hard, I want you right here tonight. You can see, we've got an 11-year-old kid, and you can all say, yeah, but his dad's Chris Green. No, he's doing his own business. Yeah, he's lucky to have, Chris Green as his dad, but, he's doing it. And so I'm going to bring them on and let them tell you a little bit about themselves. I know I talked a little bit about them, but I'm sure they have much more things that I'm not aware of. And if I'm looking to the right, I always say this to the crowd. I'm not ignoring them. I have another screen here to the right to make sure we're streaming okay. So Chris and David, just kind of tell everybody a little bit about yourselves. I'm sure people are dying to hear it.
Well, Joy, thanks, of course, for having us on. And I'm super excited that you've put together events. I've hosted events. I know how much work it is. So I know how much work you are going through to set this up with the intention of helping everybody that comes to the conference. And it's in Houston, which is great because there's so many people in Houston. I've met a bunch of people in Houston, and I'm looking forward to this event because I know it's just going to be awesome. And, thank you for the wonderful introduction. I'm flattered that I'm able to help people. I do think that I kind of invented what I call education marketing because I just like teaching people about what I was doing. And other people are like kind of catching on and being like, yeah, this is fun and we should do this. And of course I had products and I had books and I like kind of finding those new things. And I like just telling people about them because when I find something new, this is the way I kind of try to explain to people. I see something new and I'm like, okay, can I use this? Can I use this for my business? Can I use this to make money? Sometimes the answer is yes. Sometimes the answer is no. If the answer is no, then I start to think, okay, well, who can use this? Who can use this for their business? Who can use this to make money? And then I go help them use it as well. Because what does it cost me to let someone know about a new platform? Right? Close to zero. But by helping other people, guess what? It comes back tenfold, hundredfold, over and over and over again. I tell people this all the time, hoping that people will finally believe me and take me serious. So they start helping other people, and they're going to find that they're going to get all the help coming back to them. So I'm sorry I missed your event last year. I go to so many events. I like going to events. The networking is fun. The speaking is fun, all of that. But I couldn't go to every single one of them. But we made the commitment to come see you this year. And it's coming up soon. Super excited about it. So the link is somewhere. If anybody doesn't have tickets and they're anywhere close to Houston, they should be considering coming because you have a pretty amazing lineup.
Definitely.
And you did say that, like, yes, David's lucky to have Chris Green as his dad. So he like gets in early on stuff. But David's out there telling everybody about this stuff as well. You don't need to have an Amazon guru or anything as a father figure in order to understand these platforms and decide what you want to do with them. Anybody can do these things. There are some platforms that if you're younger, are going to make more sense than maybe some of the others. But I think exposing kids, especially kids that have the kind of entrepreneur spirit, especially the kids are like, hey, can I have that new Xbox? And you're like, yeah, you can buy it yourself. And if the kid says, well, how can I do that? How can I earn money? What can I do to make enough money? Because you can't just go get a job until you're 16, right? but you have the internet. You have things that we did not have as kids, right?
Right.
And once you understand some of those and figure out which ones kind of work best for a kid's schedule, if they're in school, if they have extracurricular activities, what their interests are, how old they are, different things. Like every parent should know their kid, and then they kind of, I don't want to say like push them in anything. Like don't push your kids to do anything, but kind of say, look, these are some of the options you might be interested in. Merch by Amazon is just kind of, to me, one of the most obvious ones, and I'll let David tell you why.
Yeah. And kind of tell these we have some newbies that are on that don't know what Merch by Amazon is. I know they hear about Amazon, but David, tell us a little bit about like kind of what it is. And guys, remember that this kid is 11 years old.
He's the size of a 13-year-old.
Maybe 14. You could argue 14.
You could probably pass for like, you're taller than grown-ups. He's taller than his mom already. Jen's not happy about that. So explain what Merch by Amazon is, and then kind of why you like using it.
Yeah, so pretty much just Merch by Amazon. It's a platform obviously run by Amazon, and you can upload any artwork as long as it's not copyrighted or anything like that, and they'll put it on the platform so it gets everyone on Amazon gets to see it. If they say look up a Merch Kids t-shirt, they'll see a Merch Kids t-shirt that I published, and then when an order comes in, they ship it. They have a bunch of these huge machines like warehouses. It's actually really cool seeing all the pictures. They have the giant like car-sized machines that just print out the t-shirts, and then they ship it for you too. So you don't have to ship it. Because I've been selling on eBay a little bit too. So I know it's a lot easier to do merch. So like eBay, we have to like pack it up, ship it.
Yeah, you get that cha-ching on your phone. You're like, sweet. Yeah. Like, oh, shoot, we got to ship that.
Yeah. That is the thing. Like, we'll be sitting on the couch playing video games like that. Then we get a notification, and it's like, oh, great, now we got to go get it.
We got to find a box. We got to print the label. We got to, UPS doesn't come to our house every day anymore.
Yeah.
It's just a difference. So if you want to describe Merch by Amazon, it's what you call passive income model.
That's a good word. I like passive, and I understand the excitement of the cha-ching on eBay. And I remember when I was selling more on eBay, I was like, oh man, that's great. But just like what Chris and David are saying is, oh my God, now I got to go find the box, print the label, package it in, put the bubble wrap, blah, blah, blah. I remember one Christmas I was selling lipstick, and I was merchant fulfilling it because I didn't want it to sit in the Amazon warehouse. And I remember it took me an hour to ship out 5 items.
We're going to help you streamline that a little bit. Maybe we'll find someone at the conference who can help you streamline.
Oh yeah, I don't pack and ship anymore. Yeah, definitely. That was when I first started. And that was the first thing actually that I outsourced in my business, and it just completely changed my business. I mean, I don't even know how to pack and ship anymore. I don't even know, how to get in there and do that anymore. But
well, those are the solutions that we want to bring to people. Yes. So if someone comes to this event and they're like, "Hey, I'm merchant fulfilling. I'm shipping my own stuff. I feel like I should be able to pack more. I feel like I'm kind of slow with like the time per box." You're going to find someone who can help you with that by going to an event. It's going to be difficult to kind of find that person on Facebook. If you share your problems or struggles with real people in real life, you're going to find someone at an event where there's hundreds of people together who are going to say, look, I can help you with that. Right. And I wanted to add on to what David's saying about the Merch Kids stuff. With Merch by Amazon, it's so passive because Amazon's doing the listing and the printing and the payment processing and the returns and the customer service, like all those things. Because David's a busy kid. You've got what do you do during 1 week? I'll let him tell you how many different places he goes for different activities. Even though he's homeschooled, he still has all these things.
My schedule, so on Monday I work out. Tuesday,
like organized strength training, like with a personal coach.
Yeah. So then Tuesday I play a soccer game. I feel like I have something else. No. So on Tuesday I play a soccer game. Wednesday workout again, personal trainer. Then let me think. Thursday I do floor hockey.
Wow.
And then Friday I go to like a kind of like school for homeschoolers, but it's like laid back. So it's like playing sports there and recess, stuff like that. And then Saturday
I play another soccer practice on Friday.
Oh yeah, no soccer practice on Friday. And then Saturday I play basketball. Sunday, I'll most likely go to the gym to play basketball or go to my grandma's. And that's it.
You're a busy kid. Just because I homeschool my kids at one point in our moving career and raising them because we were moving so much. But so with all of that, as you guys have heard, his schedule, he's still able to do this. Now, I'm curious to hear if you have a virtual assistant that you do your designs for. Are you designing, are you saying, hey, Dad, this is what I'm designing? And by the way, those who are new again, who are on here. Amazon Merch, again, is, creating a design, you upload it, and it goes on to Amazon Merch, which they, advertise for you. You're hanging on the coattails of Amazon Merch. When someone buys it, Amazon makes it, fulfills it for you. It's amazing. No holding inventory, no nothing. So
it's like FBA without the cost, right? Like that's why we all loved FBA, because there's no shipping. Amazon does customer service. Amazon handles returns. Amazon handles warehousing, picking, packing, ship, all that stuff. It made selling scalable, which when FBA came out, that's how I kind of became the FBA guy. I was like, guys, selling products is now attractive to so many more people, right? Like I would not teach a grandmother to sell products if they had to store all the boxes and ship out every day. No, but they can certainly scan books and send them all to FBA. Like that's what your grandma does. That's what my mom does. Like she would not ship her own books. If FBA went away, she would be out. She would close her Amazon account in a heartbeat, like without even thinking about it, right? But all this happens, so all the merch shirts go out as David's at school or he's at any of these events, and you do make your own designs, but you've also used, I've got some design services that I'm a member of that he logs in as me and requests his own designs.
Yes, I use Penji. Penji's pretty useful for like requesting designs. Pretty good there. And then I use Stencil for making my own designs. That's pretty good. Like I'm no artist, but Stencil makes it pretty easy. It's like
Stencil gives you so many design assets that you can use. They make it easy to line things up, to center things. They give you the right file formats, and you've learned some Photoshop as well.
Yeah, only a little bit. I'm still working on Photoshop because there's a lot to learn in Photoshop.
You'll never learn all of Photoshop, but you've learned enough that you can make merch by Amazon designs, even if you're only 11. And I would say if you're 10, 9, 8. You could still do this, with the help of a parent, of course. That you have bank account information you have to set up and things like that. But it's the most attractive. Of all the side hustles out there, for Merch by Amazon really kind of checks all the boxes for being passive, for being no contact. I mean, as a child, you're going to have some kind of limits, right? Like I'm not too keen on someone sending eBay messages privately to my kid, right? They're not going to know it's a kid, but if they did find out it's a kid, there's maybe not.
Yeah, I got to help monitor that. Yeah.
With merch, there's no buyer seller contact at all, which is good for kids. And hey, for adults too, a lot of the adults like good. I don't want to talk to customers either.
Oh yeah, right? There's no customer returns to Amazon.
That's me.
Amazon does all the customer returns and Merch by Amazon. That's very useful too. Like it's just so simple. Like, I'll just make a t-shirt design, publish it, and then it'll sell. So I recently got my PayPal account and I got a bank account, so it's not even like running through him at all. It just sells, goes to my bank account, Amazon ships it out.
He's doing affiliate stuff too.
Wow,
he's making affiliate money off some of these design services.
I hope my kids are watching this. Let's remind everybody, because I see something coming on. He is 11, and one of the things that they're talking about, like I say, is
I have your brownie.
You can make your own designs, but exactly what they're saying. There are services out there. If you want to be even more lazy about it, you can say, hey, so-and-so service, I want to see your designs. You look at it, you might pay between $5 and $20 per design. And then you can pay your virtual assistants to upload it for you. I mean, guys, this is one of the business models that we're going to be discussing at our event. There's, one thing about SimplezonSeller that I love, and I know a lot of people love, is that I look at it and think of it as like a buffet, and it's not to take your focus away from what you're doing as much as it is to give you an option to say, okay, this is passive income, like what David and Chris are talking about right now, Amazon merch. Then there's also stuff that you can do hands-on if that's what you like, to go shopping or whatever. Then you can do private label. If you don't want to do that, well, Amazon merch is for you. This is an 11-year-old kid, and he's going to be speaking at our event, guys. And kids, Packard kids, if you are watching this, and you better be, he's 11. He's doing his own stuff. So what, we're going to be helping with that. And what are some other things that you could share that you might be kind of, giving a little bit of a hint at that you'll be discussing at the event, Chris and David?
Well, we'll both kind of give you some kind of feedback and ideas. And I like what you said, kind of like a buffet. And there is it's an overwhelming buffet of options and choices for people who want to have a side hustle, who have the entrepreneurial mindset, who want to make extra money online, who want to quit their job and do something on the full time for themselves. It is overwhelming. There are so many choices on this buffet. And if I had to say there's kind of I mean, there's a few things I'm good at, but one thing I would say I'm good at, if I can kind of meet someone and talk to them one-on-one, is kind of help them what they should put on their plate, right? Once you kind of understand where they're at, what their goals are, maybe, you know, what kind of capital they're working with, that they're looking to, you know, lease warehouse space and build something and hire people versus, hey, I've only got a few bucks, but I'm interested in selling product. Well, let's talk about the best things for that. You know, do you live in an area that has access to retail arbitrage sources? If you do, great. If you don't, probably something else is going to make a lot more sense. And there are tons of things that do make sense, like online arbitrage, merch by Amazon, self-publishing. David's published as many books as I have.
No,
right?
no, I wouldn't say that.
Well, don't downplay it. You've published more than one book, which is
Wow.
way more books than anyone else at your age has
Oh
published.
yeah, I know. I'm saying you publish like books like 50 Cats a day. But I mean, you know, like it's not like he's trying to sell that. He's just using it as an example of like it's so easy to publish a book.
Well, and that's what I like to do. I like to take these platforms like Merch by Amazon and KDP, Kindle Direct Publishing, and selling, Seller Central, and kind of helping people tie them all together in innovative and new ways, because then you're first mover, right? Like a lot of advantages that I've had in this Amazon world were because I was first mover, right? I was one of the very first sellers on FBA. We were the very first FBA software. We're the first, you know, mobile scanning app, the first books, the first courses, the first Facebook groups. Like you get a lot of advantage of being first. And I think a lot of people are kind of scared to be first sometimes. They don't want to put themselves out there. Like, what if it doesn't work? And the advice I give that, like, sometimes things don't work. You know who remembers things that don't work? Nobody. Right? Like, how many things have I done that have not worked?
Oh yeah,
Tons.
I don't even know.
But people forget them, right?
David's gonna tell on you.
Everybody remembers the ones that are good. Like, oh, why do you always do so? I was like, because you're forgetting that, you know, I try so many things that eventually something works, right? So a lot of people don't want to try. They're afraid of that failure. It's like, well, you got to fail 7 times before something works. Nobody's 1 out of 1, you know? So you can also, by coming to events like this, meet people that are going to help you and encourage you, because the internet can be kind of a salty place. You can go on Facebook groups and ask for help, and you're gonna get people who tell you to log off, right? Like, it's like, really? Like, but it's when it's not face to face, people can run their mouth and they're going to say things they're not going to say in real life.
Yeah, it was really nice at the conference, getting compliments from everyone. Pretty encouraging being the. I was at two
You were in Denver.
Yeah.
That's the first one you did.
Denver was.
Is that the very first conference, the Rocky Reseller Conference?
Yeah.
Blue hair.
I had the all blue hair.
All blue hair.
I remember that. And your dad did it with you. You know, one thing that Chris mentioned that, and I've talked about this so much, is 2 years ago, and maybe you remember, maybe you don't, we were talking at the ACE conference together, Sam Cohen's event in May. And I remember talking to you and saying, this is what I'm thinking about doing. And, you know, I talked to him about SimplezonSeller. We didn't know it was going to be SimplezonSeller at the time, but I remember asking Chris about, you know, doing this. And I remember you telling me exactly what you're saying right now. And that is, you'll never know until you try, you know, and just like with this event, that's how this event came to play. And Chris, I don't know if you know, but this whole event is part of the reason of what that 5 to 8 minute conversation, you know, in between speakers and stuff. And it stuck with me. And this is the kind of guy that's coming to our event, guys. We have the owner of Scan Power and online art. He has so many books online. I can't even remember all the names. And you just need to Google him. I mean, he is.
I've got an author page. They're all listed.
Okay. So there you go. He has amazing books.
We got some behind us.
I'd be happy to tell people at the event about how to
bring
set
some.
up. Actually, I'm going to pull a little bit of an audible on my presentation, not to throw you off, Joy. You don't have to do anything, but I am going to add some pretty powerful information about using Amazon author pages and Amazon giveaway in some ways that no one is doing. And I actually predict that I am possibly the #1 most followed author on all of Amazon because of what I'm doing. And you can maybe imagine what that means for the next time I publish a book.
That's amazing.
And it's not because I'm a special author, right? Like I'm an econ major, right? I'm not an English major or none of that. So if I can do it, anybody can do it. But it works when I explain it step by step about, hey, you're a seller? Good. Let me tell you why being an author is going to help you. And then kind of laying it out and kind of saying, oh, but writing a book is really hard. Well, no, let's talk about why it really isn't. And then I feel what I'm able to give people is both confidence and permission to do these things, right? And maybe that's what you needed at the ACE conference. You're like, I want to do this, but like I need someone to tell me I can do it. Like for whatever reason, as human beings, that's kind of what people need. Is they think of something, but they want to hear it from someone else. And when someone else says, "Yeah, I believe you can do it," then you're like, "Well, I can do it because David says I can, or Mommy says I can, or Joy says I can." As simple as that is, if that's how you can figure out if that's how you work or how other people work, then you can reverse engineer that and be like, okay, what do I need to hear? Who do I need to hear it from? When do I need to hear it?
Yeah.
And then go do it instead of like sitting back and like thinking it's just magically going to happen.
Exactly. Because, if you're thinking about it and not taking action, it's not going to happen. And so are you going to be touching on a little bit of KDP in your presentation? That's awesome.
A little bit, because
you're going to have a little bit of everything, aren't you? That's what I love about Chris too.
A lot of dots that I'm going to connect them all together, and it'll make a lot of sense.
Yeah. I'm so excited to hear that. And guys, again, we are so honored to have these two to come because, they don't come out to very many conferences, and I'm honored to have them here, and they're making it happen. That's why we have them on day one, or they would be toward the end, because he always has all of these amazing things that you're just like, what? You're going to be completely amazed.
Well, and I don't want to overwhelm people. I want to kind of get people focused.
This thing sometimes you always talk about too much.
You can overwhelm people, and
it can be, yeah.
Well, that's the problem right now. There are so many options. Like people are overwhelmed.
They're so overwhelmed that they kind of get at a standstill. They don't know what they're supposed to be doing or want to do. So, well, tell us a little bit about your thoughts on attending an event live, and as opposed to just getting the recordings or streaming it live. You've been to many events and you've hosted your own events. So I know you're very versed and skilled at it. So tell us your thoughts on that.
Going to events is hands down, by far, without a doubt, the number one way that you are going to grow your network, to find people that you can actually partner with. And it's just humanity, right? Like we meet people and we connect with people by looking them in the eye, by shaking hands, by sharing a drink, by having a meal, by being in the same place, by sharing an experience, by creating context with each other, whether it's good or bad context, right? Yeah. It doesn't matter. Like now you're connected in some way. And that's just something that does not translate or hasn't translated yet to the digital world, which, we're just kind of dipping our toes in terms of like a species, right? Like we weren't made for digital, right? We're changing to digital, but we weren't made for this. We were made for one-on-one human interaction. And when you go and have a beer with somebody, then all of a sudden, like, and this is it's almost like a hack. If you just tell people something valuable, they're going to feel like, oh, that is valuable. I'm going to share something valuable back. Right. So you benefit yourself by just going and helping other people. You just go in with the mindset of like, you know what? I'm going to go in and I'm going to be open about the things I'm struggling with. I'm going to open myself up and tell people things that I'm not good at, which not everybody wants to do. And at the same time, anything that I feel is like really good information, I'm going to share that with people as a way to kind of put myself out there, kind of like the olive branch, not the olive branch. That's not the good analogy. But just like as an offering to be like, hey guys, I'm here. I'd love to tell you about this cool site that I use that it really helps me ship my products really fast. And, you can use it if you want. And someone's gonna be like, wow, that's way faster than tell me about that. Like that's how it happens. And then it just comes back to you. And everybody, this is the problem with conferences. This is the problem with the question. People want guarantees. Right?
Absolutely.
What's the guarantee? Joy, I want to guarantee that if I come to your event, I'm going to
be successful.
X number of dollars back. I'm going to make this much money more. I'm going to fast track, shortcut this. And there are no guarantees, except there is one guarantee. Stay at home. I guarantee none of that will happen. So you have nothing to lose, right? Either something great will happen or nothing will happen. But the only way to see if something great will happen is to go. And being in Houston, right? Like I've lived in Texas. There's a lot of people within a half day's drive of Houston, Texas. It's probably one of the best places to have a conference because you can go all the way to New Orleans, all the way to if you live in Little Rock, Arkansas, you should be driving down to Houston, to Oklahoma City, to San Antonio, to Austin, Dallas, Fort Worth, all of these cities. This is a half day drive, right? This isn't buying a ticket on a plane. This isn't taking days off of work. This is get your butt to Houston and change the course of your business. Like you're crazy not to, right? And I'm assuming people can bring kids, right? Like get your kids there to get them motivated by seeing an 11-year-old.
I would love for them to listen to David. Yeah, that'd be great. I'm hoping to, gather some people that can come. I'm going to be inviting some from this area for sure. And, during his presentation, because this is incredible to, when I first saw David at, like I say, Reseller Rocky Mountain last year, I was just like, this is like, it just makes you have even more belief, right? Because we have all the excuses in the world of why we can't do something. But if you see an 11-year-old running an e-com business, I know that if he could do it, we need to get our kids to do it and get ourselves to do it. There's no excuse. It takes away all your excuses. And so just like Chris was saying, Houston is a great place to have it. You can drive, and Houston, I know just even yesterday, I had some friends coming in from Orlando, $26 each way to fly from Orlando to Houston. Come on, guys.
That's a good deal. I would not drive.
Yeah.
I know it doesn't make it. It's not. We picked
a cheap place to get to. It's a cheap destination.
It's so cheap, and there's 2 airports, so you can go to either. And so one of the exciting things that we decided to add is because we had a lot of people that were looking at, there's the basic and there's the deluxe premium that has coaching and VIP sessions, and we decided for the next couple of weeks before the event to add a 3 payment plan to make it easier. So, it's not quite up on the site yet. Maybe it is. We have virtual assistants. So you PM Chris, PM me, or just PM me so you don't bug him. But if you want the
I'll
3
get back to you eventually.
Yeah, we have that to offer you guys to make it easier for you to get here. Because I know that everybody, some people might say, I would love to come, but here's where I am. And I know that has helped me. And I am offering it to you guys to, get you to the conference, because I like I say, if you look at the lineup of speakers, you will be as much in awe. I'm going to be learning right along with you guys. I'm going to have my notebook. I'm probably going to bring several of them, and we'll have some notebooks for you guys too. But I'm saying you may want to bring another, because we're going to have 22 speakers, and I don't know how. I don't really honestly know how we got that many amazing people all in one thing. And here's John. I'm just going to show this comment because it's worth it. When Chris is talking about it, he's coming from Pittsburgh. Come on, guys.
Come on down, Steeler
Thank
country.
you, John. That's so nice. And so, we have somebody coming from Jamaica. Come on, guys. If people are coming from all over the world.
David and Barrington are good buddies.
Yeah.
Oh, Barrington's coming?
Barrington's coming. Barrington's going to teach you guys about international selling. So, well, look, we have just a few more minutes. And I didn't know if you had anything that if they buy through this link today and they post in the comments that they're buying through Chris's link, did you have any kind of
I want to give people like a good offer. And I know we're coming up on 30 minutes. People have other things to do tonight than just listen to us. But Joy, I want to make sure I give you this compliment, because I know you're I think you're a lot like me, and like you could be humble, and you're like, you like to put these things on, and when people tell you do such a good job, you feel great, but you're like, oh, like everybody's helping me out and doing these things. You got 22 amazing speakers because of who you are, right? Because of the help that you want to put out there, that you honestly just want to help other people. You're aware enough that you're going to benefit from this as well. You're like, I can't believe I get to listen to 22 speakers as well. But these are great events that you're putting together, and it shows that you get this caliber of speakers that are coming to your event. So I do want to do this for anybody that is last minute, right? If people are like, they still haven't booked their tickets, they're like, I don't know, it's I guess it's kind of close. Maybe if you're on the fence, we'll call them fence sitters, right? If you're on the fence about coming to this event and you decide to come between now and I'll give you 24 hours. I'll give you 48 hours. 48 hours, because some of you guys are going to watch this on replay, right? Mm-hmm. 48 hours from now, if you buy your ticket to SimplezonSeller coming down to Houston, Texas, whether you drive, fly, walk, ride a bike, I don't care how you get there, come on down. I will offer you a private coaching call, video call, kind of like this. We'll talk privately, just me and you. All you got to do is buy your ticket and send Joy an email that says, I'm a fence sitter, or fence sitter, or on the fence, something with a fence in it, so that Joy knows who it is. And Joy will make sure that I get the people who signed up as fence sitters since watching this video. Send Joy that email, and we will schedule one-on-one calls where I'd be more than happy to figure out where you're at, where you want to go, and then recommend the platforms that I know about, and not just that, like, recommend a platform, big freaking deal, right? No, I want to give you a strategy that's going to be kind of tailored and based on what you're interested in, what your strengths are, and then kind of put you on the right track. Because if you don't know where you are and you don't know where you want to go, that path is going to be a disaster. So I can help identify where you are. I can listen to where you want to go, and I can give you a path, because I've been doing this for over a decade. I've helped thousands of people. I do feel I have a pretty good grasp on helping people get from where they want to go, or where they are to where they want to go.
Yeah.
Wow.
something.
I don't know if
That's a good deal, though, right?
No, it is a pretty good deal because you're getting the one-on-one of everyone in the conference. You can talk to them, stuff like that. But a lot of times, if it's a popular speaker, there'll be a lot of people talking to him after like that. You may not get that one-on-one or maybe just a few minutes.
How many people wanted to talk to you after your presentation?
I couldn't eat lunch. Like I couldn't.
I
eat
knew
lunch.
I tried to talk to David, but he was flooded with people all around
He
him.
couldn't eat lunch.
Yeah, I couldn't eat lunch. I could every time I took like 2 steps down the aisle. So it was like, hey, good job.
I did in Chicago. I finally took you away from people because even though I said as his father to a child, hey, I need to feed my kid.
Yeah.
People were like, that's cool. I just have a question. It's are you like, no, this is like a kid. This isn't like a grown up, like, whatever. Like we had to drag him away because he was that popular because people were inspired and you gave them confidence and they wanted to learn from you. And then I think a lot of them want to pass it down to their kids. So
Yeah,
Absolutely.
we've
And
kind of
David,
got something for everybody at this event.
It's so true. And David, I'm sure that you're going to be flooded with people asking you stuff just as much as your dad. And, here's the exciting thing too, guys. At this event, because of last year, we added on what's called VIP sessions. And if you look on the site, you're going to see the value. I mean, I'm sure Chris charges even more than that privately, but I can't believe what I'm hearing. I'm still in awe because I know that if I was like listening to this and I didn't know what SimplezonSeller was, I would be like already, I mean, the cost of the ticket to just have a one-on-one private session with Chris Green, that alone, I mean, that you guys should already be pressing the button. Come on.
That's a good deal. I know a lot of people are going to watch on replay. So we're going to stick to that 48-hour mark.
Yeah, just stick your hashtag replay that you're watching it. Now, again, like look at the SimplezonSeller website. There are what's called VIP sessions. And, what we did is we have 2 rooms downstairs that are in addition to the room that our conference is in. We'll have it set up to where our speakers can go down there and, meet with you for 20 minutes, 40 minutes. You can kind of read about it. And so what Chris is offering you guys is a free VIP session. I can't even believe it. I'm just like in awe.
Remote. You don't even have, we don't have to do it at the event.
Yeah, you don't have to do it at the event. Doesn't have to be at the event, but my goodness, guys. Well, this has been amazing. I'm sitting here, like I say, and even though this is my own conference,
you're going to buy an extra ticket, Joy. You should buy a ticket to your own event.
I'm going to buy my own ticket.
Get your own ticket.
I'm going to buy my own ticket, put my name on it because that's incredible. I want to do that just to be able to talk to Chris. And so I know that, to get Chris live, even just to do an interview with him and David tonight has been, it's an amazing thing. And I'm gracious that they're able to find the time. They're so, super busy people and they took the time to teach you guys and to offer this amazing offer that he's doing. And the way to do it is to email info@SimplezonSeller.com or private message me on Facebook. I'll see your message. However you want to do it to let us know that you're a fence sitter and you'll get that coaching call with Chris whenever you want to use it. Wow. Thanks, guys, for your time. Thank you, viewers and replayers, for being on here. And again, I cannot stress enough the bonus that he is adding to come to this event. You just need to go to the link below us, SimplezonSeller.com. You are just running out of time. We only have about 12 more days to the event, I think it said. And,
that's quick.
Yeah, it's around the corner.
I know, right?
It's around the corner.
So
I
anyway,
forgot it was that quick.
What?
I forgot it was that quick.
It's coming up. Yeah, we got to get ready.
Yeah. So thank you guys, Chris and David, for being with us. And thanks, guys, again, for everybody else. We look forward to seeing you guys in Houston.
All right. See you, Joy. Thanks.
Take care. Thanks so much.